sports page with the Orlando Sentinel and FM 96.9 The Game's Mike the Bulldog Bianchi.
On JRR.
Bulldog Sports Page, Kaufman and Lynn. Remember, Jeff Kaufman will be here next hour for Law and Disorder. If you got legal questions you want to get over, you can text them to us at 22526. Good morning, Bulldog. Where would you like to begin? There's many huge stories from over the weekend in the sports world.
So much to talk about this morning. Let's start with the PGA Championship. Man, was that dramatic. We had Scotty Scheffler on Friday getting arrested and taken to jail for a traffic jam. He didn't end up winning the tournament. He did the big story. Xander Schauffele, wow, 21 under par. He wins the PGA Championship, makes a 6-foot birdie putt on the final hole, holds off the big meathead Bryson DeChambeau, who was 20 under. Bryson DeChambeau, at the time that Schauffele made his tournament-winning putt, he was on the range warming up for a possible playoff. It never happened. I have to admit, guys, as Schauffele standing over that putt, that 6-footer to win it, I was hoping he missed.
You wanted the extra holes too, yeah?
No.
Yes.
Dude, you can't wish for that. That dude really needed that.
In fact, right when he was putting, I yelled at the TV, "Miss it!"
I knew it. I knew you would. And he almost did. The announcer was like, oh, it went halfway around the cup. I'm like, that son of a bitch almost did a full turn. It did 3/4 away around that cup, man.
Right. So, Schauffele, obviously, as you said, he's never won a major. He's one of the top players in the world. So it was good to see him win it. But I think the crowd wanted DeChambeau in the playoff, too. He was pumping up that crowd, man.
Oh, yeah. They definitely wanted it. But, Bulldog, you know what? I figured you'd really be rooting for Schauffele a little bit just because how he was raised as the underdog and you being the Bulldog. I figured you'd relate, you know?
Again, it's a great story. And what did you guys... We never got a chance to talk about Scheffler on Friday because it happened after our segment. Yeah. What did you guys think of that?
So I'm reading that. It sounds like these charges may be dropped by the district attorney? Are you seeing that?
I would think.
I've seen that as well. Yes. I guess there was no body cam footage. The only footage they really have is from the reporter Jeff Darlington of what happened.
And he's just been scooping up the media pops. Have you noticed that?
It just seems like this was a whole, misunderstanding. It just because if you know anything at all about the Scheffler,
he's just a great guy.
It isn't like in his personality to do something knowingly like that. I mean, right?
Charge him with something, make him do some community service. I'm sure he's going to have to donate money in fines. Just pay the fine, and he's a good dude. I mean.
Yeah, this is very un-Scheffler-like, although I guess he did drag the cop when his car didn't stop, dragged the cop along the ground a little bit. Cop got scuffed up, so I don't know. It'll be interesting, but it sounds like the charges are going to be dropped. All right, moving on. NBA playoffs. Denver Nuggets, the defending champions, go down in Game 7 at home. Yeah. They had a 20-point lead in the second half, and they lose the game 98-90 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. There's no excuse for this. No excuse for the defending champs to blow a 20-point lead at home. This is going to go down as more of a choke for the Nuggets than a victory for the Timberwolves, although it was a great victory for the Timberwolves. So, yeah, Timberwolves move on to the Western Conference Finals. They'll play the Dallas Mavericks, who won on Saturday night. They advanced on Saturday night, so they win their series. So it's going to be Dallas and Minnesota in the Western Conference Finals. And the Eastern Conference Finals, the Celtics, of course, already clinched. They're going to play the Indiana Pacers, who had their way with the injured New York Knicks yesterday.
Shooting percentage, my goodness, dog.
Right. Pacers. Yeah, the Pacers are one of the best offensive teams in the league. I think they shot 76% in the first half. All right, that's never been done in a long time. They ended up shooting 67.1% from the field. That was an NBA playoff record as well. They take down the Knicks. The Knicks were just too beat up. Jalen Brunson, their best player, the latest, he broke his hand in the second half. so he had to come out of the game. So it was a gallant effort by the Knicks, but now we have the Pacers and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Dog, I said it to Taco at the start of the show. Did you take a little pleasure in seeing a very distraught Spike Lee courtside? Madison Square Garden.
I must admit that this isn't the typical, like I usually root against the New York teams, but this Knicks team was sort of an underdog type of team. They were gutsy. They were injured. Jalen Brunson's a likable superstar. So I was actually kind of rooting for the Knicks for a change. But yeah, it's always good to see Spike Lee go down. What else we got?
NASCAR All-Star Race.
Yeah, Joey Logano, that wasn't very excited. He essentially, won it. It was more like an F1 race.
Yeah.
He got ahead and nobody could pass him, so he ends up winning that.
Did have fireworks afterwards, though, between Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Kyle Busch. You see that video of that altercation?
Yeah, I saw Ricky Stenhouse was mad that Kyle Busch kind of wrecked him. Did he take a
Yes, I put the video on our Facebook page if you haven't seen it yet. And then it overflowed with the pit crews, and it was, good old NASCAR, whooping some ass.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. If you're in charge of NASCAR, you say, forget all these, championship within a championship and the weekly win. No. Have a fight once a week.
Hey, did I hear Bulldog mention F1 in there? Speaking of, are we over at the F1 desk?
Bulldog, can we go there yet?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
You know who's right back there where I told you he would be? Max Verstappen taking everybody else out as usual.
Well, it was close there. Lando Norris got very close to Max at the end there in Italy, Bulldog.
Close don't count.
Well, yeah.
By the way, my Panthers on Friday night, they advance into the Eastern Conference Finals. They beat the Bruins 2-1. They'll now play the New York Rangers in the finals, Eastern Conference Finals starting Wednesday. Also, we've mentioned this before. What about the Orlando Pride? My God. This Barbara Banda that they have, she is unbelievable. They've won 7 games in a row. They're undefeated. They're atop the NWSL standings. This is the story of the year in women's soccer is Orlando City and Barbara Banda. The Orlando Pride and Barbara Banda. Orlando City also won over the weekend on a late goal by Jack Lynn in the 89th minute. They beat San Jose, so they're starting to win a little bit now. And Pedro Galesi, their goalkeeper, who had been playing awfully, is starting to play really well for Orlando City. So.
One other note, Edmonton-Vancouver, Game 7 tonight in Vancouver to see who moves on in that Bulldog.
A lot of Game 7s during the NBA and NHL playoffs.
No doubt. How about if you're a fan in Dallas? Now you've got a team in hockey and basketball in the conference finals.
That's right.
Not too shabby, right?
By the way, sad news. Big Jim Otto, the old Raiders center, passed away yesterday at the age of 86.
R.I.P. Hey, how about horse racing? Did you guys mention that?
That gray horse, man, smoked everybody, Bulldog.
You mean the horse that's owned by 2,500 stockholders?
Cool is that? They each paid, $123 or something to go in on that horse?
That would be Seize the Gray.
Seize the Gray at the Preakness. Mike the Bulldog Bianchi, host of Open Mic on AM 740 and FM 96.9 The Game, adjacent to us weekday mornings. If you ever want to bounce over there, feel free. And then also, the sports page is brought to you by Kaufman and Lind here on JRR.
Listen to Under Oath with attorney Jeff Coppin every Saturday morning, 7:30 on FM 96.9 The Game. You can catch extended versions on your favorite streaming platform.